Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Two Gods Summoned to a Fantasy World by BenGrem1234. Chapter 7. The power of Excalibur in the Kingdom of Spades. Things has somehow returned to its peaceful nature. After Rimuru and the rest of his party left for their journey, the kingdom has been managing its affairs without relying on the demons anymore. The citizens were still a little bit afraid of what the demons may do to them, but remembering Rimuru and Chloe's powers gave them peace of mind. In the palace, we see King Edward attending to some nobles in an important meeting. The nobles in attendance were Duke Grey Vonville, Count Leo Einsborn and Minister Lean Silford. They were in the meeting room sitting down and having a serious discussion about the affairs of the kingdom. So what you are saying is that we need to try and take back control of our regions from the hands of the demons? King Edward asked. That right, your majesty. Our people are suffering at the hands of the demons and we have to go and save them, Duke Grey said to the king. Your highness, we would never dream of suggesting something like this before in the past, but things have changed. Our nation now has the protection of not one but two gods. I believe now would be the best time to answer to the pleas of our people who are being oppressed by the demon, Count Leo explained. What do you think, Minister Lean? King Edward asked. I personally would like nothing more than for our citizens to be free, but we don't have the manpower to accomplish such task, Minister Lean said. What are you saying, Minister Lean? Count Leo asked. Are you forgetting that the demon are the one who are holding the people in our own regions as slaves? Humans can never best a demon in a fight, and you all know this better than anyone. After all, you all remember the tragedy that befell us when we tried to wage war with the demons, right? Minister Lean asked them. Everyone in the room became quiet after remembering such tragedy. It was truly a painful day for them. That's why I believe we have a chance. We have the protection of God Rimuru and Goddess Chloe with us. Surely they would aid us at this crisis, Duke Grey said. Do you think that God Rimuru and Goddess Chloe would have the time? May I remind you that our gods are on a journey to free humanity from the hands of all the races who are oppressing us. They would not have the time to return and aid us in this fight that you are proposing we have with the demons, Minister Lean explained to them. But, Count Leo tried to say but was stopped by King Edward. I've heard what you all have to say, and as much as I want to free our people from their fate, we simply don't have the manpower or strength to accomplish such feats, King Edward sighed. But sire, we just, Duke Grey was saying when all of a sudden, boom, the sound of an explosion was heard which shook the entire castle. King Edward and the other nobles immediately stood up and rushed out of the meeting room to see what was happening. They arrived outside the balcony of the palace only to see half of the capital city of Spades in flames. My God! What happened? King Edward shouted. A guard rushed to the king's side and knelt. My king, it is terrible. King Edward turned to the guard. What is happening? My king, a high demon is attacking the capital city. Half of the city have been wiped out already, the guard said in tears. King Edward was greatly distressed over such terrible news. You see what the demons are capable of. Let this be a reminder of the kind of foe you all wished to face, Minister Lean said with a pained voice. We can't let the demons get away with this forever. Therefore, I will go and deal with this high demon, Prince Shu said as he stepped into the balcony. King Edward turned to Prince Shu in panic. No, Shu, you mustn't. Father, I received this sword from God Rimuru for times like this. I believe that he is testing me to see if I have what it takes to protect this kingdom in his stead. So I must go and fight with the high demon to prove that this responsibility given to me was well-founded, Prince Shu said to his father with a resolved look. King Edward looked at Prince Shu with a proud and sad look. My son, how I wish I could be the one to fight in your place. Please, come back safe after you have won. Prince Shu smiled after hearing the honest faith his father is putting on him. I promise. I shall return with victory. Prince Shu jumped out of the balcony and began running to the place where the explosion happened. Minister Lean walked up to King Edward's side. Is it wise to send Prince Shu to face this enemy? There is nothing I could do. God Rimuru chose him to protect this kingdom, so he is doing his duties by fighting. All we can do now is hope and have faith, King Edward explained. Meanwhile, at the air over the capital city of Spade's kingdom, two individuals was floating and admiring the destruction they caused. To think Tensura was killed in this human city is just astonishing, one of the individuals said. Sir Ryzen, you are a high demon. Surely destroying this kingdom is child's play for your powers. Wouldn't it be better if I do it? The other individual asked. This individual is covered in a hooded dark cloak with little red horns coming out from his head. Silence, Akira. Tensura went missing after coming to this kingdom. His name vanished in the demon's book, which implies that he is dead. We need to understand what happened to him in this city, and sending anything less than a high demon is just asking for trouble with the Demon King. Ryzen explained. He looks like this. Forgive this foolish one for questioning your actions, sir, Akira bowed. As long as you understand, Ryzen said as he looked down. He saw a single individual running to their location. The individual was dressed in a white shining armor which leaked out a powerful aura. I think we've found what we are looking for, Ryzen said with a smile. I agree, sir. Akira said, also smiling. Both of the demons flew down to meet the individual that was heading there was. Prince Shu came to a halt after seeing two demons flying down to a ruble opposite from when he was standing. He glared at the two demons in anger. So you two are the ones responsible for this destruction, Prince Shu shouted at them in anger. That's right. We came here to annihilate this kingdom, but we first need to confirm if you are the one who killed Tensura, Ryzen explained to him. I'm not the one who killed him, but I am the one who will kill the both of you, Prince Shu said as he drew his sword Excalibur. Kukakukuku. Humans will never learn their place no matter how much we make them suffer. Akira, deal with this fool, Ryzen said. It will be my pleasure, sir, Akira said as he turned to Prince Shu. Akira brought out his claws from his hand and rushed the prince with speed faster than a speeding bullet. He intended to cut the prince in two with his claws, but the unexpected happened. Right as he slashed his claw, Prince Shu effortlessly dodged it as he raised his sword and in a swift move, severed the head of Akira from his body as he passed him. All this happened in a blink of an eye. Both Ryzen and the head of Akira were shocked and confused on what just happened. The body of Akira fell to the ground and Prince Shu turned to Ryzen. One down, one to go, he said while facing Ryzen. Ryzen, who was still in a state on confusion and shock on how Akira was killed without any effort by a human, became alert. Akira was one of the strong demons below him who was said to be one evolution away from becoming a high demon. For a human to kill him so effortlessly must mean that this human is formidable. What is your name, human? Ryzen asked. Prince Shu was taken aback from the question, but nevertheless still answered. I am Prince Shu of the Spade's Kingdom. Remember it well, for it will be the last name you hear. Ryzen smiled. Interesting. My name is Ryzen, a high demon and subordinate of General Iskander. I acknowledge you as an opponent worthy enough to see my powers. Enough talk. Prepare to die, demon, Prince Shu shouted. He speed up to Ryzen with his full speed and slashed him with his sword. Ryzen, who barely saw Prince Shu move, managed to block his sword with his claws, but he was sent flying to some rubles in the process. Ryzen could not believe the amount of power behind the prince's swing. He didn't understand how a human could possess such strength. It is clear that fighting him at close range will lead to my defeat. I need to keep my distance and use my magic on him, Ryzen thought to himself. Ryzen got out of the rubles and glared at Prince Shu. I do not know how a human like you could wield such strength, but you chose the wrong opponent to challenge human. Behold, this is what it means to be blessed with mana. Ryzen flew up in the air and pointed his hand at Prince Shu. He began to fire a barrage of fireballs at him, which began to explode at contact. The area was filled with explosion and many nearby buildings were destroyed in the process. Ryzen raised his hand in the sky and the weather changed. A huge lightning bolt came down from the sky and hit directly where Prince Shu should be standing. The lightning bolt caused a massive widespread explosion which destroyed almost all the city. Many lives were lost during those explosions and half of the castle was destroyed, which killed most of the people inside it. Ryzen was pleased with his power, but he wasn't satisfied. He started his incantation. O black flames that scorch the heavens and burns down the earth, I call upon thee to vanquish my enemy and burn all in your part. Amaterasu. Black flames followed after the incarnation and descended on the already destroyed city. The black flames consumed everything on sight and turned even a solid rock to ash in seconds. The black flame completely wiped out the entire city and turned everything to ash. "That should teach those humans not to mess with us demons," Ryzen said as he turned around to fly away. As he was preparing to fly away, a golden magic halo appeared at both of his upper arm and tightened itself. Ryzen looked at the golden halo in shock. He tried to move but he couldn't because of the halo that was holding him in place. He attempted to destroy the halo with magic but he discovered that he couldn't use his magic for some reason. He began to panic because of that. "What is this? Why can't I use my magic? Are this things suppressing my magic? What can I do?" Ryzen kept asking himself questions. All of a sudden, a huge gust of wind appeared and pushed all of the smoke and black flames in the area away to reveal a very pissed-off Prince Shu without a single scratch on him. "Nani? How are you still alive?" Ryzen shouted in shock. Prince Shu looked at him in anger. "My armor has been blessed by my god Rimuru Tempest. It has the power to nullify any and all magical phenomena in this world. Your magic powers are useless on me. For destroying my city and killing all my people, I will end you with my own magic." Prince Shu took his fighting stance with his sword in his hand which began to generate a huge golden light. The light was so bright that it filled the entire destroyed city in a mystical golden light. Ryzen could feel his skin burning from being exposed to that light. He didn't know what that light was, but he knew that it was very dangerous to any demon in general. "Behold, demon. This sword which was blessed by my god is called Excalibur. It is a sword that promised victory to anyone who wields it. I will use this sword to eradicate any race who brings harm to the humans, starting with you," Prince Shu shouted. Ryzen began to feel an emotion he hasn't felt in a long time, fear. He was afraid because he had no way of dodging this power. He couldn't move because of the golden halo that was holding him in the sky and he couldn't use magic either because it was somehow sealed by the halos that was holding him in place. He was trapped like a cornered rat and that thought frightened him. "Please have mercy. I promise to never mess with humanity again if you spare me. Please take pity on me." Ryzen, seeing no other way to escape, begged for his life to be spared. Prince Shu became angry after hearing his begging. "All the people in this city that you killed, did you show them mercy? You killed them like their life didn't matter and you have the gut to plead for mercy. Your life will be used as a retribution for all the lives of the human you've killed." Prince Shu looked up at the sky. "I know you are watching this, Demon King. Let this be a warning to all you demons that your days of looking down on humans has come to an end. The death of High Demon Ryzen should be a good example to what I would do to all demons that bring harm to my kingdom." After saying that, the golden light that Prince Shu was generating intensified. "Now die, Ryzen." Excalibur, all the light that Prince Shu generated was released and fired at Ryzen, who was on the air and could not move. The light hit Ryzen and disintegrated him into nothing in seconds. He didn't even have time to feel the pain. Luckily, Ryzen was in the air and not on the ground. If the power of Excalibur that Prince Shu used just now was fired on the ground, it would have destroyed the entire country of Spades in seconds. That was how powerful it was. Prince Shu fell on his knees after using that attack in sadness and sorrow. He won, but it was at the cost of everything in the city. He wept bitterly. Prince Shu started hearing clapping from behind him. He quickly turned around and saw Rimuru clapping to him. "That was an excellent display of power, Shu. You should be proud," Rimuru told him. Prince Shu lowered his head in shame. "Yet I couldn't protect the city you entrusted to me. I'm a failure as a prince." Rimuru smiled in compassion to him. "Yet you still defeated a high demon while holding back quite a bit of your powers. I'd say you should hold your head high for that accomplishment." Prince Shu began to cry again. "How can I when all my people were killed? My father, my mother, my friends, my soldiers and citizens. Everyone died by the hands of that demon and I couldn't protect them." Rimuru looked at Prince Shu who was still crying. "You really are a crybaby, Shu. Why do you think I'm here?" Prince Shu looked up at Rimuru with hope. "What do you mean, Lord? I would have sent Chloe to be the one to do this, but I wanted to show you just what kind of being I am. I can bring back everyone in this city if you want," Rimuru told him. Prince Shu immediately fell on his knees and bowed to Rimuru. "Please, my god, I will do anything you want, just bring back my people." Rimuru gently took Prince Shu's face and looked him directly in the eye. All I want from you is your continued faith in me and Chloe. Whenever you are in trouble, whenever you feel all hope is lost, always believe in us as your gods. That's all I want from you." Prince Shu deeply stared at Rimuru's eyes before he bowed down once more. "I promise to worship and serve you and Goddess Chloe until the end of my days." Rimuru smiled. "That's all I wanted to hear." Rimuru then flew to the air and stretched out his hand. He could easily just snap his fingers and everything will be fixed, but he wanted to put on a show for Prince Shu, who was watching him. His hand glowed, and in a blink of an eye, the entire city was back to the way it was before. Rimuru then flew down and looked at Prince Shu. "Everything should be fixed now and everyone should be back to life. Explain all that happened here to them and remember to keep your words," Rimuru said as he disappeared. Just after Rimuru disappeared, King Edward and a lot of soldiers were rushing to Prince Shu's location on horses. They found him looking up at the sky. King Edward came down from his horse and approached Prince Shu. "What happened, Shu? I was certain that we all died," King Edward asked in confusion. Prince Shu turned to his father and smiled. "Everything was destroyed, father, and you all died, but Lord Rimuru brought everyone back to life. I even managed to kill a high demon just now." King Edward and all the soldiers who heard what Prince Shu said became surprised. To think that they all died and were brought back to life by their god. What a blessing. King Edward put his hand on Prince Shu's shoulders. "Let us go to the palace so that you could explain this better for us." "That's a good idea, father. I am getting pretty tired," Prince Shu said with a laugh. And so, they all went back to the castle to celebrate the great victory of humanity over the demons once more.